Hi everyone and welcome to Jab and Move with your host Stephen, and this weekend we have the highly anticipated fight between Zayas and Ennis for the WBO, WBA Super Welterweight titles. It is a huge fight in America and it's one that has been highly anticipated and hotting up ever since this was announced, and especially over fight week, and also, fully enough, same as the British weather, it is fucking roasted. So let's get through this, guys, because it is very, very hot, and I want to talk about my prediction for this big fight, and also talking about Usyk's huge news of vacating all the heavyweight championship bouts as well. So in terms of Zayas versus Ennis, it's an interesting fight. We feel like now Ennis has got to, but Boots Ennis has really got to start putting himself now as a possible pound for pound fighter in the current ranks, and people really do speak about him extremely highly and being one of the best in his generation, possibly further, and he needs to start showing that now. We have seen that in the welterweight division. Obviously he's stepped up to super welterweight where he smacked up Lima in the first round, and obviously he wanted, I think it was Vargas, if I'm correct in saying, but unfortunately, Ortiz, sorry, but unfortunately that wasn't able to happen, and obviously now he is fighting Zayas. The interesting thing here from his point of view is he's got to now get these names on the resume and really start building, and I think he will in this one. Like I say, he is a very good fighter. His downfall is partly his defense. He gets hit way too easy for someone who wants to go on and do the things he wants to do. Very few fighters can stand there in the ring, Rocky style, and be able to create an absolute legacy of almost unbeatability from that. So it'll be interesting to see if he tightens that up moving into this fight. Now with Zayas, he obviously got the split decision win over Barros previously, and he started to step by step really get better and better with every fight he's had. And it's interesting for me because I like what he does. Obviously he is the more natural, heavier boxer, so it's interesting to see if he will put it onto Boots Ennis. In terms of his ability, I think he has a slightly better defense. You see that his hands are always up. He does have a bit more mobility in that area, I feel, compared to Ennis, but at the same time these are levels, and what we've seen against some lower level fighters is probably not going to be replicated against a Boots Ennis. So it's a really interesting fight for me. I think people mentioned about possibly going for sort of like points and stuff here, and I don't think with the sort of contingent of fans that Zayas is going to take there that Ennis is going to really be able to accept that. He's going to have to go for the knockout, but I also think Zayas is going to go for the knockout as well. So for me, it's going to be a very good fight. I don't see it getting past possibly round 8. I'm going to go actually for a knockout win here for Boots Ennis. I'm going to go for a knockout win around about round 6. I'm going to say round 6 because I think Zayas is going to try and be very front-footed and attack him, and that's going to lend himself to, I think we've seen sort of not just the power but the accuracy of Boots Ennis, and that's going to be something that's going to really play a part in this fight as you go through from round 3 onwards. So I'm going for a round 6 stoppage win for Boots Ennis. It'll be a really interesting fight, like I said. Excited for it. I want to get your thoughts on who you think will win as well. In terms of Usyk, we're just going to touch on this very, very quickly. The news broke out earlier today that he's actually vacated all his bouts now. So all the heavyweight bouts are out in the open. I think there's talk of Caballero being instantly promoted to WBC champion. We know Dubois has the WBO championship after smacking up Wardley in the previous fight. Then it leaves sort of the IBO and the IBF. So the interesting thing for WBSI and the IBO, the interesting thing for me is actually two players that we've not really spoke about for a while, which is Joshua versus Fury. Now these two are really set to fight each other, but does throwing these bouts all of a sudden in the mix change things? Because yes, a huge payday, but after that, are they going to stay around to possibly fight to be a three-time world champion? Does someone like, for example, a Hrgovic get a title? And for me personally, I think he would be a easier opponent for someone like a Joshua or especially a Fury. So I don't know. I think this sort of throws the cats amongst the pigeons really quickly when some of these fights are getting lined up. We've got Toma versus Hrgovic, which I'll cover in another video. We've got Joshua versus Fury coming in quarter 4. So where are these bouts going to go, and who sort of is going to take the initiative to go and become a world champion. It's going to be very interesting. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Do you think this is now retirement for Usyk? For me, I think it should be. If he does a few Hollywood fights, it is what it is. But I think he should have walked away after smacking up Dubai the second time round. I think he's done everything he needs to do in the game. He is one of the best heavyweights we have ever seen, one of the best cruiserweights we have ever seen, and one of the best fighters we have ever seen. So please, guys, get your thoughts in. What do you reckon to Usyk? Is this the end of his illustrious career now? And where do you see him going? Is it full retirement after vacating the belts? And also, Zayas versus Ennis. Who wins this weekend? Who do you think takes the championships and top spot? I am going for a round 6 knockout for Ennis. It'll be interesting to see what your thoughts are as well, guys. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Take care.